Jesus said, "Let the dead bury the dead." So, what do we what do we look after? Do we look after the living first, or the dead? Is the dead more important than the living? Dead people, I believe, will all be resurrected. Will all come back to life. You know, it said the the dead in the graves, in the tombs of the graves, will rise first. It says they will rise, and so I believe the dead bodies, the dead, uh, will rise again, and that's and I don't just believe it's the dead people. I believe it's the dead everything. I believe everything that has ever had life will rise again. Quite simple, you know. And it says it in all those, in all the Bibles. It says it in all the Bibles. You know, like all of them. It says, you know what? The dead will rise. The dead will rise. And so, you know, people that are alive today. You know, people that are alive, or you assume they're alive. Maybe they died in the last few minutes. You know, and you remember dead that were dead that died 20 years ago, and you remember dead people, people that died a few minutes ago, and they may have died right in front of you. You know, animals. Now, you recall all your pets that have died. I mean, as time passes, they're still alive in our mind. And if they're still alive in our mind, are they truly dead? You know, there's so much out there that says that the that this is just something we're going through. This is an experience. This is a place where we learn, and we learn. Excuse me. Lack of sleep again. I guess so. Getting old. But the dead are okay. You know, I look at so many people on the internet. There's videos up there where so many people are interviewed that have died and come back, that have, temporarily had their afterlife experience and near death experience, as they want to call it, and they all appear to say it is glorious, it is wonderful. So like, and we pine over it. And lots of people that were Christians have left. It's, I mean, how can you deny what is around you? Everything around you is changing. Nothing is stable. This house rots around me. I gotta keep fixing it. I gotta do the shingles this next year for sure. This summer, have to do it, or she's gonna start leaking in this section. Um, just yeah, and the wood. Like, if it's any exposed to anything, it's rotting. Even if it's not exposed to stuff, it's still changing. It still changes. It either dries out and warps, or it gets dry rot. It gets, something is always changing. So what is real? What is like, everything changes, and nothing is stable. Even the scientists, they know that they can't create anything and they can't destroy anything. So what really is real? I think just our spirit is real. Our spirit exists. Like scientists, you think you can destroy something, you tell me something you can destroy. I mean, you can change it. That's all you can do. fire changes energy. Energy is still there. Everything is still there. Maybe smoke, maybe ashes, and maybe dust. And man can take dirt from the earth and make something out of it. Uh, Man can plant a seed, and seed miraculously grows. How is that possible? You get the little wee tiny seed that's in the ground. You know, 50, 80 years later, that seed has turned into a big tree. It takes minerals from the earth, it takes sun, it takes water, and it turns into something. And we cut it down. We make lumber out of it. And even when we're making lumber out of it, we can use the sawdust. We can make cheap wood out of it, but putting glue together that we get from the earth. But it's all there. It's all material. It's all something that comes basically either creates by itself, or we assist it, or we change it, but it is there. It is always just here. And God will change it in time, I believe. And I think we're coming to a very close end of something. Um, uh, you know, it said that at the end, and coming to the end times, people will move to and fro, like travel. Travel is massive. And it said, when the entire world can hear the word of Jesus or scripture, then the end comes swiftly. Something to that effect, quote unquote. Um, so we toil with life, and there's ups and downs. Depression hits, stale hits, like I'm out to try to help people and motivate people to do some things in their day. I mean, I got my red book there, and I take notes in the day. If nothing else, just notes of what I did in the day, and then I can look back at it. And when God moves me, the Spirit moves me, I do something. I'm making this video, make this little video, speaking about it. Well, one of my friends just died there, Jerry. Again, so many friends are leaving. And, he's still alive in my mind. Just because I'm told he's gone, he's not gone to me. He's not gone. He's still there. Well, he's somewhere else. I believe he's up there. I believe he's in glory now. He had trouble on this world, like we all do. And he ended up being quite a bit alone, I guess. Because you know what? When you believe and so many things have happened to you in your lifetime, it, lots of times it secludes you from this world. And this world is not really our home. And once you realize that, all you can do is try to help people. Try to help people get through this and realize this is not the end. This is just a part of it. We could have had lives before this. I don't know. So much talks about reincarnation or being reborn back into this system. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe I'll find out in the end. But all I know is this is the life I have now. And this is what I have to deal with. I'm put here to deal with it. And you know what? People say, well, you chose to come here. Did I choose to come here? I don't know. Why would I choose to come to a satanic world run by Satan? Would that be a wise thing to do? I think possibly it is to serve the better, serve God. Put it bluntly, serve Jesus, serve the creator of this. I think this is all sorting. I think this is all, and it said when we move on, the books will be opened. The books, of what we did in our life. We don't get in by works, but I believe our works are very important here, and that's what I do. You know, lots of people say, "Well, I don't want to be a preacher." Well, I know I don't want to be a preacher. I'm I'm just an example of of what is real, you know, and what isn't real. I think just our spirit is real, um, and we can't, you know, and we're to endure to the end. To the end. What is the end? When it becomes impossible to endure, some people check out. They either check out by doing themselves in, or they just lose their will to continue in this. You know what? But we must, you know, try to go on. I'm trying to go on, however it is, and you know, death doesn't bother me as much as it used to. It doesn't bother me like it did in the past. Yes, it upsets me seeing people lose people, to lose our associations on this earth, with good people, people that are actually working with us, and that's kind of a hard part to deal with, but we have to deal with it. We're only here for a while, and so that's how it is. So anyway, my friend Jerry, his daughter came up from Texas. Jerry used to go down and see her apparently, but when he was involved in the truckers thing, I guess they pulled his passport, so he couldn't go and see her. And Jerry wasn't one to deal with governments very well. He didn't like governments, and you know what? You can't blame the guy. It's a satanic. It's run by Satan. Come on, you know. So I guess he probably could have got his passport back, but his daughter says she bought him a tablet so she could see his face and talk to him over, you know, over the internet all the time. But she came up here and phoned me. I guess she found his phone lists, maybe in his phone or maybe in paper. I don't know how. But she was up here for a few days getting things sorted out. And she gave me a call and she says, "Gee, I don't know what to do with all his plants." And you know what? You know what? I'm sure he would like us to take care of his plants, you know, and so we did. We went over there and we filled the van and the car up with his plants, and he, you know, and his daughter says she's going to have a little celebration of life in the springtime. So we took lots of slips off of his plants, and we're trying to root them again in water, so in spring, possibly at the celebration of life, we will bring plants, and everybody can take a piece of him home with them if they desire. You know, whoever wants a plant can take one. That's and also his daughter was, you know, I mean, she's in a bind. She comes from Texas. She, you know, I mean, she cared for her dad, and she watched him go, you know, and I didn't know about it, you know, until after she told me. I mean, he's not going to have a stroke and call me, you know. After that, he couldn't do that. So we're gonna, when she has her celebration, we're gonna, you know, maybe have a little get together out in the countryside too here. Um, Whatever. And she needed a place to take his truck because, you know, she had to put it someplace. So I said, "Well, sure, go ahead, bring it out here. We'll keep it till spring or whenever." And put it out back, locked it up. And it is what it is. Excuse me. Anyway, I think it's time to conclude this video. You know, not many people watch my videos, but I don't really care. You know, I just make them because, yeah, I feel I'm supposed to make them. And the other day I was visiting my friend Dave at Hogarth. He's a quadriplegic. He's one of my friends I grew up with. We're neighbors, and we associated over the years. He actually bought a house right beside ours in town one time, and we used to chat over the fence all the time. And he's a quadriplegic. He can't even move one finger anymore. Not one finger, not a toe, nothing. Just his neck, a little bit like this, and he can talk and he can eat. And he's having even trouble seeing because now he's got cataracts they got to deal with. But he's continuing life, and he has a good attitude, you know. He took him to the eye specialist, and the eye specialist had not seen him before, you know. And I mean, he's in a wheelchair, he can't move a finger, and the ophthalmologist looked in his right eye with the scope to see, you know, to check it out. Then he went to the left eye, which is a glass eye, and he shone the light in there. And, and Dave started hollering, "It's a miracle! I can see, you know." And everybody started to roar. You know, never misses an opportunity. Got a great attitude. You know, all he can do is watch TV, or sort of watch TV. You can't hardly see the TV anymore. But he's still happy, you know. And one of my other friends went in to see him that used to go to a church a lot. And he said, "Well, I'm not attending the church anymore." I says, "Well, how come?" "Well," he says, "they're doing too much things that's against the Bible. You know, like there's ladies preaching, and there's, you know, and there, I don't know, whatever." He said it just doesn't fit, and he was all for his church before. So it is what it is. And you know what? He was brought back in front of me the other day. I believe I'm supposed to go and see him. He says, "Well, we'll come out to a coffee shop on Sunday. I'll meet at a coffee shop." He says, "Nothing talking about the Bible." Okay. But, you know, just with some friends. So I'm going to go see him on Sunday morning. I'm going to take a run in and go see him on Sunday morning, if all goes well. You know, it's almost like I'm supposed to go and see him again. I was abandoned from the church, basically, you know, because, you know, like the pastor, I guess one of the people there said what I believe, and, you know, I'm not believing in this round ball earth, and I'm believing more in the Bible, you know, where it says this is basically not a round ball. And it says at the end times, the sky will roll up like a scroll, and the stars will fall from the sky, and the sun and moon will be gone and not give their light. So I believe that. No, I'm believing that. So you know what? And the pastor one day in an email says to me, he told me, "You know what?" He says, "If somebody told you Ringo Starr was the Messiah, you'd believe them." I said, "Well, I don't think so. But you must remember that you signed a contract with Satan, the government, Satan government, uh, for tax purposes for your church, or to start your church even. So first is Satan and your church." Oh, he got angry. He told me to go away. Well, that's fine. I didn't really care. But I'm still associating with the people from there. Like this Sean seemed to walk away from his church. Maybe he walked away from God. I don't know. I'm not walking away from God. No matter how bad things are on this earth, this is this earth. I am not part of this earth. I'm only part in this, at this moment, at this time. And as seconds go by, everything changes. Had a strange dream last night that, oh man, I was working on a house, and everything was falling apart as I was working on it. I had a rope going up on the roof, which I got a rope up there right now. I got to do shingles in the spring. uh, and somebody else was climbing up there, and things were falling apart. And as I was coming down, oh, there was some kind of a door, looked like a door on the side, and it was all loose, and everything was rotten underneath it, and everything was falling apart. Now that's a very strange dream to have this morning, but it confirms that everything is changing. I believe God gave me that dream just to help me realize and put me back in front of this phone camera to chat with people. So remember, the dead are fine. They're in a better place, you know? It's the people that are hurting. So we must comfort the people and and get by this world somehow ourselves. Okay, guys, catch you in the next video.